We also speak French Creole. Over the course of that first year, as he persisted with his efforts to draw her out, she'd ended up giving him his first de facto course in Third World history, describing how many times the Caribbean islands changed hands between the fighting Europeans. For his requested gift, 3 years after he spoke his first words to her, she'd found a small shop in New York's West Village where the jeweler had apprenticed in Dakar, his certification of training ornately framed and hung above a counter displaying his trademark amber and gold creations. Written in Wolof and French, the certificate proclaimed him to be a master goldsmith. She'd chosen to have the cufflinks made in the shape of one of the dozens of Adinkra symbols that represent the Akan world view. From a wall poster, she had picked it out purely for its swirling symmetry, and the jeweler had allowed her to watch him make the mold and pour the gold. The design in Twi was called Shewanche. In English, that which does not burn, he explained. It was a symbol of the permanence of the human soul. But when the time came to give them to him, she couldn't part with them. Their heaviness in her palm comforted her somehow, anchored her, and she had kept them for herself, with the excuse that they turned out looking like a pair of abstract gold butterflies, too feminine for a man to wear. From an African art studio on the Lower East Side, she'd bought him a mask instead, one that cost much more than the gold. She had spent a full afternoon there, persuading the owner to allow her to purchase it in installments, and eventually she had presented Teddy with a mask. Neither one that had been hastily carved at the back of some craft center in West Africa, shining with shoe polish, nor one made in China and buried in dirt for a few weeks to make it look old. She bought Teddy a mask that had once been worn, a mask that had been danced, that had once represented a spirit. She spoke aloud to her mirror. "I wonder if you would like to come with me." She sounded laughable, pitiable. "Come with me." Then, "Come with me." A different approach, carefully. "I think you'd enjoy Dominica." She noticed her evened-out accent, not exactly American, but the singing quality had long disappeared. She finished her toilette with lipstick, also a special purchase, just one level up from a gloss. Once when she was younger, she had braved a rich, heavily pigmented brick red, liking the effect. But she had received unsolicited comments all day, mostly from men she didn't know. She had since used only Vaseline, which, along with powder, was all she normally put on her face. Basic eyeliner was also rejected. She would never emphasize her eyes. In America, their yellow-brown cast was called various exotic and complimentary names: hazel, tawny, gold-flecked. But where she came from, her feline eyes had a different association. "Pussy eye," school children would sometimes dare to call after her in the absence of the teachers, maintaining their safe distance, running away if she turned around to look at them. The eyes, indeed not much different from those of a cat, gave further credence to the story of how Lillian came to be born, and were a constant reminder to the children that they should heed their mother's warnings. She spent time choosing her watch. She had a small collection laid out on her dresser, all of the same basic design: functional men's watches, with big faces and wide bands, that bore no resemblance to jewelry. The delicate one Teddy had given her as a thank-you gift after his book came out, more a skinny bracelet than a watch, had been exchanged for the one she now selected, snapping the catch and swinging her left hand in a downward arc, shaking it, adjusting to the weight of the stainless steel and gold. Standing in front of the full-length mirror again, she reached up and back, pulling out the hairpins, finding her look too severe. She almost never wore her hair out. It drew so much attention, double takes from strangers whose first glance required another to accommodate the amber